Hello, this is Chemakal Kafo from Premium Times, and we're here in Brudjanka town in Ukraine. And this is one of the first towns that was hit by the Russian invasion of February 24th, 2022. And this is November 2023, and the city or the country is still trying to rebuild. We're here at the terrace session called Museum of Occupation. It's a local museum where people have gathered to, uh, eulogize a poet's terrace session called. This is where the museum is, and behind or in front of me rather is a monument of the man who is loved by his country and a poet as well. And here, this was one of the first monuments that was shelled by Russia. And of course, the monument did not go down, and Ukrainians here believe that since this monument did not go down, Ukraine as well will not go down. I'm here with Mikita Garishenko, who speaks for the governor of Brudjanka, yeah?
Kiev region.
Sorry, the governor of Kiev region, and he's going to be updating us on how much damage and how much courage Ukraine has put on in the last 1 year plus since the invasion of Ukraine has started. Good morning, Nikita.
Morning.
So please quickly tell us what it's been like from 24th of February in 2022 up until now. What has been the experiences, the number of losses? Behind us is a building that's obviously shelled by Russia. How much of this do you have all over Kiev?
Well, thank you for coming. First of all, I would like to say thanks for the support of the African countries of the peaceful initiative of the President, Mr. Zelensky.
Yeah.
Kiev region is one of the regions that was affected by the Russian aggression, by the Russian war crimes. We have more than 28,000 objects destroyed or partially damaged of the infrastructure. More than 13,000 already renovated by our side, by the support of the international partners. And we are planning to renovate more than 3,000 very soon, hopefully until the end of this year. Our governor have this aim to do it. And unfortunately, Russians, when they entered Kiev region, they killed more than 1,400 civilians over the region, 500 in Borodyanka, 300 in Irpin, in those cities that were never been related to the military objects or anything like that. And we really appreciate African countries to come here and see the war crimes and show it in Africa.
Kiev is currently one of the safest places or cities in Ukraine, and you see that more and more Ukrainians are moving towards the center for safety. And last winter, Russia made it very keen. They were very keen on shelling electricity, power, energy sources in Ukraine, and we saw all over the news how much effect that had on Ukrainians, especially given how cold it gets here. Now, are there any measures put in place by the Ukrainian government to see that this does not happen again? And just yesterday there was a shelling here in Kiev since September, and it's a sign, it's an indication that Russia will be at it again. What measures are in place by the Ukrainian government so that this doesn't happen again?
Well, first of all is basically the air defense systems. I believe that Kiev right now has one of the best air defense systems around the world, thanks to our international partner, and the initiative of the president, the initiative of the office of the president team, the government, Ministry of Defense. They're working to have those negotiations to get as much possible air defense systems as it's possible. Regarding the local level, our governor also has the responsibility to defend, let's say, the objects of the infrastructure and the energy facilities, because we understand that Russians might continue shelling and they might do the missile attacks on the energy infrastructure as it was the last year. So what we are doing is basically finding out the cars for the air defense systems. We put the machine guns on the cars to defend from shaheds, from the drones attacks. And also we are doing some things how to protect the energy infrastructure, but I'm just can't tell all those things. So the work is going on. We are expecting Russians to use the strategy of sending more than 10 to 100 drones on each object. We will see. We are doing everything from our side how to prepare for it.
Thank you very much, Nikita.
Thank you.
Yeah, so stay tuned at Premium Time, we'll give you more update from Ukraine as this goes on. Thank you. This is Chamakal Kafo from Premium Times Nigeria, and we're here in Bucha City, one of the cities that was attacked by the Russians. And here in Bucha City, people were not actually killed by missiles or bombs, they were shot at directly by Russian mercenaries or Russian soldiers and killed them. And here we are, the mass grave. This is a memorial because, of course, a lot of the people who were buried in this grave have been exhumed and taken to proper cemeteries by their families, although 80 of them are still unidentified. I'm speaking to Victoria here, who will be briefing us about, or telling us more rather, about what happened here, the details of it all. Hi, Victoria.
I want to tell about this mass grave and the reason why this.
Would you introduce yourself first?
Yes, my name is Victoria Danilova. I work in the Bucha City Council International Department. So the reason why this mass grave appeared here is that there was no opportunity to bury the bodies at the cemetery because Russian troops stayed close to the cemetery and they didn't let our people to come close to their base, to their points. So that's why we had to take this difficult but necessary decision to make this mass grave here, because there was a big need to collect the bodies from the streets, to take the bodies of people who were killed on the streets, and also we had to do something with the bodies that were in hospital of Bucha. They were in morgue. There was no opportunity to keep the bodies there because there were no light. So that's why this biggest mass grave appeared here. 116 people were buried here, and also some parts of people's bodies were here as well. So that's why we can say that maybe 118 bodies were here.
This mass grave is located where? Where is this mass grave?
There was here belong this memorial.
Yeah, in St. Andrew's Church.
Yes,
Okay.
the territory of this church. After the liberation, all the bodies were taken, were exhumated from this mass grave. We took all the DNA information that was needed in order to identify that bodies where we couldn't find out which person that was exactly. And as you told before, that nearly 80 of bodies of people are still not identified, and they are buried at our central cemetery, but they have just the plates with the numbers. We have all the information that we have that we need for identification, but there are some stories like whole families were killed. And in order to find out who this person was, we need the closest relatives to give their DNA information. But as the whole family, for example, was killed, there was no opportunity to have the official proof of who this person was.
Thank you very much, Victoria. That's Victoria from the Butcher Council, and she's giving us detail about the mass grave here at St. Andrew's Church in Butcher. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is Irpin, a city of 100,000 people before the invasion. And after the invasion, people are returning, and there are about 120,000 people now in Irpin. In the first few weeks, first few months of the fighting here, or the war, then 5,000 people were evacuated. As you can see, rebuilding is going on aggressively here in Irpin to have people find homes for themselves and where they can live. These are houses being rebuilt, houses that were brought to the ground due to Russian shellings, and here the government is rebuilding, reconstructing houses for citizens. Behind is also a building a story building, a group of story building that was shelled during the first few months of the war, and it's also part of what is being rebuilt here. What you can see here is consistent effort by the Ukrainian government to bring its people back into the capital city of the country. Okay, so this is the Savior and Transfiguration Cathedral in Odessa. This is the biggest cathedral in the whole of Ukraine, and this church was hit in July this year, on the 24th of July this year, by the Russian rockets, and the church was largely destroyed, as you can see from the view behind me. The church was first built in 1808 and brought down in 1936, but again was rebuilt. The rebuilding started in 1999 and was opened finally in 2010. But all of that work has been brought down by the Russian shelling of Ukraine through the war that has lasted for 21 months by next week. And what we see here is a reconstruction that will cost approximately 4 million euros, and the church is funding this by themselves because they have no option. And this is also part of the entire rebuilding plan or rebuilding activity that's going on all over Ukraine following the shellings and destructions that have happened in the past 21 months since the invasion started on the 24th of February 2022. This is what we are seeing here at the cathedral, and we've spoken to the head of this church about the efforts, and he's talked about how members of church are asked to contribute to the ongoing reconstruction happening here. This is Priya Times reporting from Odessa, Chemaka Okafo.